Life can be fast-paced, strenuous, and flat-out overwhelming. Life transitions and taboo topics can make it hard to catch your breath. Welcome to Breathe, a podcast that enables you to slow down, get your bearings, and engage in real conversations where no topic is off limits. Breathe is presented by Breath of Life, hosted by David Person and speaker-director Pastor Deblier Snell.
Boom! Hey.
It's kind of missing something without Kirk.
I know it ain't quite the same.
We missed that third fist.
Right.
But anyway, welcome to Breathe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm David Person, Pastor Deblier Snell. As always, you know, we're here. Pastor Nugent, don't worry. He's here, but he's just on the other side of the glass, as he will be for the rest of this month, I guess, because we've got special guests. We're in a special studio location to accommodate them. And we are doing this month Gen Z.
Gen Z.
And this was your bright idea.
Yeah. Well, you know, actually, I was engaging with some of them.
Yeah.
And they kind of said, like, we check out Breathe.
Yeah.
And we got some contributions. Gen Z watches, yeah. And they said, you know, we got some perspective. We think we can add to this conversation.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I was actually hoping that we would be able to do this with like a full student audience, but just didn't quite materialize, but hopefully sometime in the future. But we're grateful to have a panel of amazing young people that are full of wisdom, insight, thought, study, reflection. And we're grateful for them to add their perspective to our dialogue.
I love this. I just, when you sent it to us, I thought, man, this is a great idea. And so we are glad to have with us Queen Megan Woods from Lansing, Michigan. UNCF Queen, Miss Oakwood, and National UNCF Queen. Seated next to Megan is our man Avery Brown, who is a theology major from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. All right. Good to see you again, Avery. Seated next to him, Ms. Akila McTavish from Kingston, Jamaica. Love it. Good to see you. Good to see you again. In the back, my man Gabriel Morency, who is also from Maryland. What part of Maryland?
Upper Marlboro.
Also Upper Marlboro.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. And then last but not least, we have Mr. Andre Jones, who is from Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City. Some call it. All right.
Yeah.
So we're glad to have you all with us. And today, Pastor Snell, dating and Gen Z.
Gen Z,
Dating.
So, you know, it's interesting because, listen, I was going to say courting, but I knew they would not
They don't even know what that
resonate
is.
with that. I know what courting is. They know what it is. Yeah. They may have heard it from their grandparents.
Wait a minute. We're trying to
no. We're in the same boat. Yeah, we're in the same boat. So, you know, it's so funny. Whenever you have a conversation, David, I think about dating or courting. You know, I think people always feel like it's hard or it's taxing. But as I've had a chance to engage with this generation, matter of fact, I had a chance to do a really cool panel discussion at a recent series of chapels at Oakwood. And it seems like there are some overlapping challenges, but there may be some unique challenges with this particular generation. So we're gonna jump right into it, right? So Gen Z, dating in a social media age where it's apps and swiping left and all the things. So I'm gonna start with the ladies, all right? And we're not asking you to speak for all ladies or the entire female perspective, but are there any particular things that frustrate you about the Gen Z man?
And remember, we've only got 30 minutes.
Anything that frustrates you about the Gen Z man?
Do you want me to take it, Megan? Go ahead and start.
Okay. All right. I'm going to jump into it.
Okay. Well, for me, I would definitely say that something that frustrates me is the lack of standards.
Lack of standards. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. They don't have standards for themselves, and it translates to the partner that they look for.
Wow.
And I think that is so frustrating because as a woman, we know that we're supposed to be looking for leaders and people that will potentially lead our homes.
Okay.
And when you don't have those standards for yourself and it translates again to the person that you choose.
Mhm.
I just am not attracted to that. And that's very frustrating to me.
I have to
Yes.
ask you, just to make sure I'm understanding, when
Mhm.
you say standards, what exactly are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, it is in different areas of their life, whether it's their health or the way that they are in school or the way that they speak to others. And even just the women that they attract or are attracted to, they don't carry themselves very well. They don't respond very well. They're not out in service. They're not trying to do anything. Everything is just kind of as it is. That's
So
what I mean
when
by
you say the
standards.
women, they engage,
Yeah.
you kind of feel like they will lean toward, I feel like you're saying it, I don't want to put word, the easy girl. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
No one cancels me.
So the woman that does not require work,
Yes.
effort,
Yes.
she may not have as much discretion about herself.
Yes.
That's kind of what you feel like they go for.
And that is very frustrating.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Megan, jump into this. We're in the deep end already.
yeah.
I was gonna say,
We're
Sheila kind of. Truthfully, I don't have too much experience with Gen Z men. I've been
Okay.
dating my boyfriend for 2.5 years, so
Okay.
what I know is from my friends.
Hey, she said that up nicely. She can't speak with too much recency.
No, but it seems like a lot of misaligned expectations. So a lot of same book, different time, different pages.
Okay.
So it's a lot of my friends were like, hey, we're looking for husbands, we're looking for men to provide and just kind of support us and be these lifelong partners.
Right.
Versus the guys are like, hey, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Yes.
Ooh.
And then we get to our senior year,
Ooh.
and the girls are like, hey, I've expended so much of my energy and so much of my time finding someone that I find valuable.
Mhm.
And the guys are like, wait, my mom's pressuring me. I need to get married now.
Yeah.
The graduation is in 45 days. We need to get this
Yeah.
show on the road.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, it's a little too late. So
Yeah.
just misaligned expectations.
Yeah.
2.5 years of
Mm.
dating.
Mhm.
That's pretty serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
You may have to come back around to
Yeah.
that. Because, I know your daddy. Let's come back around.
Yeah. Sounds pretty serious. All right. So fellas, it's your turn. And so, the ladies, I appreciate your insights, and y'all kept it pretty broad, and I think, thoughtful as well. Gentlemen, is there anything in particular, as you're, some of y'all maturing towards your senior year or moving into upperclassmen space, is there anything that you kind of see in the Gen Z woman? You're not tearing down the Gen Z woman, but there's some things that maybe you find a little frustrating as you seek to engage. Come on.
I don't have time to take it away. Take it away.
I know he has a lot to say.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think what I would say is sometimes, and I say this, I love women. I don't want to attack them. I think women are amazing.
Yeah.
God's gift to men. Amen. But I think that sometimes there just seems, from my perspective, to be a disconnect between what women say they want and then what they actually want.
Oh,
And so for me, that's
maybe all generations, maybe.
yeah. And so, I mean, I think
Pastor Snell said that.
and so I think that's something that can be very frustrating when someone says, oh, I want a man that's like this. Let's, take the godly man, for example. I want a godly man.
Yeah.
And then you get in a relationship with the godly man, and there's certain godly principle that's expected to be lived by. And it just seems like those things aren't important. Or, a woman might say, oh, I don't want a godly man, or I want something different. But then they get into a relationship with this different person, and he's not living up to the godly expectation that they said that they didn't want. And so I think that is something that can be very frustrating.
That's interesting. All right. Avery, Andre, you got?
Yeah, I would say a lack of individuality, I guess. I think through social media, you're all kind of looking at the same person that you want to be like. As a result of it, you're all wearing the same clothes. You have the same, lingo, dialogue and whatnot. And I think it kind of draws a disconnect between what your personality actually is as opposed to, what social media is telling you to be like. And I think because of that, not only do you look at people, but you also look at other men or relationships that you see and base what the reality of something is off of what social media is telling you it should be. And I think that's an issue.
Insight.
Yeah.
All right. Andre?
I would have to say I'm not a large fan of when people look or listen to outside sources and think that that's how it should shape their relationship or the person they're looking for.
Okay.
So more so just people actually looking for insight from wisdom from people, I guess I could say. I don't know how to put that, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
Listening
just,
to the right
maybe,
sources.
so I heard you say you kind of feel like sometimes you're it can be 3 or 4 different people you're engaging with, but it feels like the same person because everybody's trying to replicate one or a singular ideal.
Right.
And I think what you're I'm hearing you say, is someone that's not mature enough to kind of stand on their own 2 feet.
Yes.
But they kind of maybe yield too much to outside voices,
Right.
insights, and opinions.
Yes.
Okay.
And just when you said that, and even as I listened to Pastor Snell kind of summarize it, what came to my mind was sort of the IG stereotype of a woman. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah, I would say like there's definitely certain, I guess, things that people would have a tendency to do, things that people would have a tendency to wear. You know, like let's say at first you didn't want to have that in those shorts or those shoes, but all of a sudden you see like someone that has 1 million followers that has those shoes. All of a sudden you need to have those shoes. You have to have those shoes. Your boyfriend has to buy you those shoes. And it's kind of like, whoa, like, those 2 seconds ago, everything was cool. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, I guess, IG stereotype is a good way to put it.
So let me ask you this, ladies. Would you rather, and again, I know you're spoken for, so we're going to talk theoretically, right? Would you rather a young man approach you in person or online or through an app?
In person.
Always in person.
Always in person.
Always in person. Never.
And so why is that valuable? Just for those who may be online taking notes. And he may already be on campus. So, why does that matter?
Well, for me, online dating never really truly appealed to me because I do believe that it's already hard to see the real person while they're directly in front of you. And behind a screen, it's even worse.
Okay.
So I definitely believe that being able to, at least for me, I'm a very observant person. So I can tell by your body language, the way that you're approaching me, different things about you. So I think that in-person bonding and seeing and communication is way better than having a screen or DMs or online dating, all of that for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I think love is inconvenience a lot of the time. So if you're coming to me in person, that was some sort of inconvenience.
Yeah.
Like if you're on your phone, you can easily text me from your room, from the kitchen, in class. You're not really inconvenienced by that. But if you find me, say, hey, Megan, I saw you at the caf. I want to talk to you. What's your name? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Means a lot.
Wow.
Sliding into the DMs.
No,
everybody says it's a no-no. But yet people still do it though, don't they?
They do, and in the most inconvenient ways.
You said there was something you want to add about the online versus in person, or?
Well, no, I was going to ask about the DMs because that's something I know is. And when she said DMs, I thought,
she spoke to it. Yeah. So fellas, let me ask you this. All right. So one of the things I've kind of heard maybe young ladies kind of say is just, man, Gen Z, these guys just don't step up to the plate. Like they're always hide behind a device in the DM, so on and so forth. So, if you have not actively pursued a young lady, is it because you're afraid or is it because you're just not interested?
I guess I'll go ahead and start off.
Yeah.
For me, I would say it's neither, actually.
It's neither.
Yeah. Okay. I would say I'm more so somebody who pays attention to the general, like what's going on.
To the general
what's going on.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
So who is this person before I walk up to them? What are their interests? What do I do? And so when I get there, I'm more so of a slow, you said it one day in chapel, a slow hunter kind of sort of.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't want to, I was looking for a nice way to say it.
Okay.
Like just somebody who, pays attention to what he's about to get into before actually getting into that pool.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Definitely. I would say, similar to the sentiment you expressed, I think there's just a lack of interest. I think that oftentimes people, and I don't mean that in the sense of you're not attracted to people in that way, et cetera. But I mean, a lot of people are just kind of getting the dopamine responses that they're looking for from their phone. They don't find a reason to want to engage with people just in general when they can get that same sort of, I guess, stimulus response from social media.
Okay.
So.
How about you, Gabe?
Yeah, I think men aren't stepping up to the plate because they don't feel like they have to.
Okay.
I think that if we felt like we had to, we would. If there was a girl that I thought was cute, I DM'd her and she said, "Hey, like I don't respond to my DMs or whatever. Like if you see me, catch me. When I see her, I'm going to catch her." I think that because most men don't feel like they have to, they feel like they can just slide into DMs. They feel like they can just kind of do things the way they want to, they don't step up to.
So let me ask you this, fellas. Are you okay if a young lady expresses interest to you or maybe makes the first move? Or do you want to be more in a pursuing posture? You know, how do you feel? Because there's some guys who maybe interpret that energy differently than some other guys. You know, what's your thought?
I think it depends.
Just depends. What does it depend on, Gabe?
Well, I think it depends on what the idea of like the woman pursuing looks like.
Okay.
I think that I'm very comfortable with a woman expressing interest in me.
Okay.
I think most men would be comfortable, but
You'd be flattered by it.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think you're flattered by it. You know, you like that. Okay, this woman is interested in me. Let's see what, she's talking about. But I think that for me personally, it becomes very uncomfortable when I feel like I'm being pursued, when I feel like I'm being chased.
Actively, yeah.
Actively.
Okay.
That's just not something that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Now, would it matter if you were attracted to her?
Okay, I'm gonna give you the honest answer, right?
Okay.
The honest answer is I think it would matter, but it wouldn't change the fact that I just wouldn't like it. I just don't like to be pursued.
Even if you're attracted to the person,
Yeah.
you don't want to be pursued.
I think if I'm attracted to a woman and she starts to pursue me, I might lose attraction.
Really?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So if you're attracted to her, you would prefer that she maybe be subtle about her interest?
I mean, I think that there's a way to express interest clearly. Like we're not dumb.
Yeah.
And that's not me saying that. But we know, like we can tell, there's a way to express interest clearly, whether you go up to someone and say, hey, like, I really like you. You look great today. Like, we know what that means.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what that means. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Or there's a way to like, kind of like, we'll start to notice like you're in the calf, she's in the calf, you're here, she's there. So I think that there's a way to kind of do it without like, I'm just going to follow him around.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Andre, you want to jump in on that?
I was gonna say I agree with Gabe. I mean, just a simple, hey, you smell good. That's enough to let me know I should probably
That's
shoot
all it
aside.
takes.
Not all, but like saying a nice subtle little sign of your interest. A subtle sign of interest. A subtle sign.
All right, rapid fire question. All right, and then go straight across. Turn offs, ladies. When a guy approaches you, this is an immediate turn off. Same thing, guys.
For me, when you don't know my name, when it's like, ayo ma, ayo baby, I'm like,
come on.
What is like,
Preach, Megan,
if you don't know
preach,
enough about me, you probably shouldn't be this close to me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just kind of creating a pet name or a reference.
Immediately. Lack of intelligence. If you're speaking to me and you're using they is and like grandma, I'm just like this conversation.
They is. That's it. All right.
That's funny.
Oh man, fellas, real quick. There's just immediate turn off. Like this is all right. This man, she was looking cute until
That's too serious.
too serious.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Like
I would
humor.
say similar to her. I'd say like when you're speaking to me, I wouldn't say just cursing for one. I'd say like if you're first coming up to me, like I expect, some sort of, proper, be demure, mindful type of thing. Then you just start, cursing randomly. It's be kind of like, whoa. Like,
So a woman who curses.
right. Because you're dressed really nice, et cetera, then it's just, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say just if I'm like getting the vibe that there's a timing that you're on. I think for me, like I can kind of tell when someone's genuinely interested in getting to know me versus when someone wants to know me. And that vibe to me is just instant turn off.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And now
Yeah.
the way you did that was to know me.
Yeah.
You're talking about in the biblical sense
I
of
am.
know?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That's real.
All right. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
That's actually so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So question. So I'm projecting forward a little bit. All you all want to be married one day.
Yeah.
All right. So
Amen.
in your head, does it matter if that comes sooner in your 20s? Or are you thinking, okay, grad school, PhD, getting my career, and I'm, my preference is maybe early 30s after I've reached these individual goals. For you, where does kind of marriage fit into your timeline? And I'm going to say this, we all created these little schedules for our lives that God is going to obliterate. All right. So
Ended. Ended.
no, I mean just
already happened.
it doesn't always work out in the sequence.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious about your preference as you see your life unfolding. Is it more like, yeah, I would like to be married maybe in my mid-20s or late 20s, or, I need to get settled in my career, and I'll entertain that in my early 30s. Any thoughts on that?
Let me just, before they answer, let me just say, Edward Woods, you can turn off the TV, shut down your phone. This, you don't need to see this.
Oh gosh. Well, I guess you should go there.
Said that. For me, I'm going to medical school in the fall, so I'll have 4 years of that, and then 4 years of residency. Then after that, another 4 years of fellowship. So there's not really an ideal time for me to get married, but it's more setting myself up in a way that my marriage is fruitful and beneficial. I don't want to make it necessarily harder than it needs to be, because I'm getting married my first year of medical school when you're somewhere else and I'm here.
Yeah.
So I'd say ideally when I thought about it, it'd be 20s, but now it's looking more towards still my 20s, but later 20s.
Now, he could follow you wherever you go. I know of a situation where a young lady just got her residency assignment, and her soon-to-be husband is just going to follow her and try to fit his career in with hers.
Yeah. So he's pre-med as well. So he's going to medical school in the fall too. So
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, Woody, you can turn back.
Yeah, you can turn back on that.
I would say that I would like to be married in my mid-20s. I don't like the idea of being so settled into my life and then having to conjoin. Like, I prefer to, I guess, have a lot or a good amount of things figured out, but not everything, so we can kind of build it together, as opposed to having two already fully built, established lives, trying to merge those. I feel like I would find that more difficult. So.
Okay. All right.
For me, my route is very similar to Megan, but I'm also doing my master's in the fall, so that actually adds an extra year to all of that. But something that I shared was that I want to be a wife and a mother just as much as I want to be a doctor. So I would like to get married in my mid-20s, because similar to Avery, I want to grow with that person. I don't think that me pursuing my career would stop from growing intentionally with that person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And those things don't always have to be enemies. Sometimes people create an idea as if it can only be one or the other. But I just think when your steps are ordered by God, He will cause all of those things to complement in a way that you don't have to choose.
Yeah, I'd say my conviction is I want to get married whenever I know that I'm with the person that God wants me to be with.
Okay.
But my preference is mid to younger 20s.
Okay. Mid to younger 20s.
So like right now.
Okay.
Hold up. Wait. Time out. I forgot how old I was.
That is kind of right now.
I say mid to,
mid-20s.
Yeah, mid.
Okay. All right.
I would kind of agree, say mid to late 20s. Just making sure I kind of have a good foundation and roots for where I need to be, so that the marriage can be a sprout of what that is.
Okay. All right. What's some of the best dating wisdom or advice you have received, or just maybe you've just developed through your engagement with the work? Like, what's something that you think could be helpful? Because, we're hoping that your peers here on campus and across all campuses are soaking this in. What's some good dating advice that, maybe your mom or grandmom or dad told you and it's like, well, that's true, or I've just picked this up along the way?
I'd say my dad was big on don't rush.
Okay.
And that,
I love him.
and that turned into me having a 6-month rule. So 6 months before you can say, hey, Megan's my girlfriend. We talk, we hang out, you meet the stakeholders, you meet my dad, you go to dinner with my dad. I disappear for 15 minutes and then y'all talk and figure that stuff out. And then you just meet people and you don't touch me. You don't touch me, you don't kiss me, we don't hug. It's just straight conversation. Wow. Do I like you? How do I feel about you? And then after 3 months, you can tell if you had some ulterior motive, it's been 3 months. You're really probably not going to wait that long.
Wow.
But it just kind of prevents the rushing, and also makes sure my family's on board. Because at the end of the day, they matter to me and they know me.
Sure. I love that. Wow. Beautiful. I got a 12-year-old daughter. I want you to sit down with her. In a few years, mentor her, pour into her. I love that ideology.
I would say the same way that you get someone is the same way you have to keep them. I think that if you try to lower your standards to be with someone that just because you find them attractive, but you may have seen the red flags, like their character may not be where yours is or where you're looking to go, but you sacrifice that for that reason, then when you're dating them, naturally you're going to have that level of disconnect because you didn't maintain your sense of self along the process.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I would say some good relationship advice that I've been given is loving the person for what they want to be loved by. I'm not sure if I phrased that right. I'm going to try that one more time. No, but loving the person in the way that they want to be loved instead of loving them in the way that you want to be loved. That's something that I was taught, and I also experienced just through friendships and, meeting people. But definitely loving them in the way that they want to be loved, because learning them is very important. It helps you grow and go for it.
Oh, that's a powerful idea to even be able to have that as a thought at this stage in life. That's not our natural instinct.
No.
That's good teaching. And if you're able to embrace that, that'll help you quite a bit. Yeah.
I would say not the best, but one piece of advice that I've been thinking about that's been standing out to me has been that your person is baked on the path of your purpose. And I think that sometimes we get so lost in finding the person that we forget that God created us with purpose, and that as we walk on that purpose, our person is in that. So.
Okay. All right.
Love it.
Wow. Gabe literally just stole mine.
He stole yours.
Well, I'll say something else my mom always taught me. Just kind of be slow to anger and very slow to speak. That taught me to listen to whoever you're getting ready to be with in life. Make sure that you're not angry. You're always taking into action what they're telling you. Things like that. So,
hey, go ahead. You want to jump in?
Oh.
Okay.
No, I was agreeing.
Another quick question. So, all right. So we hear the term wife material, husband material. All right. So, real quick, describe that. How would you know he's husband material? She's wifey material. What's your rubric for that? What does that look like? You give it much thought to that? Go ahead, Andre.
I'll just say.
So, wife material. What is she? Who is she?
Wife
Tell us her name.
material.
Immediately.
Oh, all right.
It's crazy.
No, literally. I would say wife material kind of is the question of what does your worship life look like? So do you pray in the morning? Do you do your own devotional? But also, are you listening? Are you listening to how I feel about a certain thing? Am I listening to how you feel about a certain thing? Okay. So that's more so
for spirituality and just the ability to listen.
Communication.
Yes. Interpret.
Communication.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
I would definitely say who's leading you. And I say that because if you are a man of God, then that means that you're led by God. And that means that you're going to be able to lead me and my the family that we'll create. Well, and I think that for me, that's the most important thing. That's what a husband is to me, a man of God, because I'm very traditional in that way. I want to be able to submit to my husband. So I have to know that you're able to lead me.
You got to make sure he's submitted.
Yeah. And
before you submit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's definitely the main important thing. I think that everything else will figure itself out as we go along, with work and time and communication and all that. But that is most important to me.
I love that. Wow. Yeah. Very strong.
Definitely. I would say first and foremost, relationship with God, because, that's going to be the main way that, I know I'm going to make my decisions in life, fasting and praying. And I hope that my wife would do the same. But I would also say the reasoning behind why you do what you do. I feel like sometimes people are in certain fields for their majors and whatnot because they want to make a lot of money. Yeah, motives. And for me, I want someone who has a much more deep sense of purpose, because in those moments in life where things may not be ideal, who are you then? Are your motives behind what you do going to hold you in those moments where things aren't ideal? So
okay.
Yeah.
Megan?
I'd say respect. How do you treat me? How do you treat my dad? I keep bringing up my dad, but it's important to me. How do you treat my friends? When we go out to eat, are you sitting in the corner? Are you actively engaging? If someone comes and asks you your opinion, how do you treat them? If there's someone whose opinion might not necessarily benefit you, do you still listen? Do you still pause? How do you respond in conflict? Do you yell? Do you scream? How do you respond when you've hurt my feelings? Are you defensive? Are you open? When we're at church, this past weekend, Pastor Lee did an altar call. And Bryce looked at me and was like, get up, we're going. I was like, okay, great. Yes, we're going. So things like that, are you respectful? Are you willing to listen? And are you willing to lead?
Yes.
Love it.
I'm really impressed. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jay. No, you go.
Okay, I was going to say, I like what Akila said, who you're led by, and I would kind of flip that to say who she submitted to. I think that's a very big thing to me, who she submitted to in terms of your friends. Is it some guy that you messed with a while back, or is it Christ, right? Who is she submitted to? But then I would say the second thing for me is being able to identify what her purpose is. And that doesn't necessarily mean like you need to know what your life is going to look like in 20 years, but having an understanding of what God has called you to do, because I don't want to be made into someone's purpose.
All right.
That's good.
This is some powerful stuff.
That's so
I'm
good.
impressed with the caliber of answers we got.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about myself at that stage in life. I don't know if my answers would have been the same.
That's thoughtful. Yeah. But we're dealing with the cream of the crop.
Yeah. And that is true.
That's the cream of the crop.
That's
here.
true.
Yeah,
That's
so
very
we
true.
know what we got here. And so I think, so Megan is the only one spoken for, just in case I get some inquiries.
Is that the case?
Some nieces, nephews, grandkids, that they want to.
Or now, Avery, you seem like you don't want to answer that question.
I'm interested in somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're kind of maybe not quite off the market, but heading in that direction. All right. What about the rest of you?
Same here. Interested in someone.
Interested in someone?
Yeah.
I'm waiting on the Lord.
Amen.
Okay. Okay. So the three of you all are that if anybody asks, you just know.
I get a lot of questions. I got the hookup, guys.
Well, look, we again appreciate you all spending this podcast time with us. It really has been fascinating.
It has.
And enlightening.
Yep.
And so I want to thank Andre, Gabe, Megan, Avery, and Akila.
Yes.
All right. And for those of you watching and taking notes, or listening and taking notes, don't forget, stop, pray, and breathe.
Breathe is produced by David Person for Breath of Life. Executive producer is Debliere Snell, and sound engineer is Kirk Nugent. Audio episodes of Breathe can be found on Apple, Spotify, or Google podcast platforms. For video episodes and extra content, check out the Breath of Life YouTube channel. Breath of Life is faith-based content, resources, and programs from a contemporary urban perspective for those looking for hope and guidance. We believe that every breath we take is a testimony that God is consistent, that He loves us, and has a plan for our lives.